What's up, everybody? Go Burns, welcoming you to another episode of my vlog series. And if you have a vlog suggestion that you would like to see eventually vlogged about by moi, feel free and send it my way via the comment section, Twitter, Facebook, or email goburns@gmail.com. And if you have a vlog suggestion that you would like to keep anonymous because it's very personal, you don't want people to know it was you that made the vlog suggestion for whatever rhyme or reason, I completely understand. You can send that to me privately via the Facebook page through messaging me, or you can email me, like I said, goburns@gmail.com. And in case you were wondering, I do show the Twitter, the Facebook, the email on the screen. But if you just want to click on the links, I do have the links for my Facebook and Twitter below in the description section. Just wanted to point that out, FYI. This vlog suggestion comes from Hydra Vibes. And Hydra Vibes wanted me to vlog about inspiration. And honestly, I think it's a good idea. I made sure that I had yet to vlog about something of this topic because I have done a few vlogs over the past, year now that I've been vlogging off and on. I've gotten better over the past few months. And by the way, I do apologize that this vlog did not drop on the usual day, Monday. I had a video I had to drop over on the other channel. And I try to post a vlog on a day when I don't have anything else to post on the the other channel, the slightly bigger channel, but so I do apologize for the delay in getting this vlog out there, but that's just the way it is. Most of the time I will try to keep the schedule to where I post a vlog almost every Monday whenever I'm able to, except for days that I have something else on the other channel that I need to post, or I just don't have any ideas for vlogs, which is why it's always important for you guys to send me your vlog suggestions, because you inspire me to continue doing the vlog series. And that's not a joke. Okay, so inspiration is something that I think has been a positive driving force for our species for probably thousands of years. And, some would probably say that some bad things have happened through inspiration, but you gotta have to take the good with the bad, and I'm gonna go good. I'm gonna go positive, because I think most of the things that we get inspired about are good things, some of the better attributes and qualities of the human race. You look at people that were inspired by art. How did they get inspired to draw those paintings? Well, they did through various means. A lot of them loved nature. They saw a beautiful bird or a beautiful animal walking, with scenery and with trees and mountains, or water, rivers, lakes, oceans. And it inspired them to want to try and draw that, to paint that, to see how close they could come to taking something beautiful and magnificent, that's out there in nature, and put it on display, something that just really encouraged them, inspired them to become an artist. So that's one reason why people are inspired towards art. Others is abstract art, unusual art, teach their own. Some people see art differently than others, we all have different tastes, that's just life. But they still had inspiration, maybe not through nature, but maybe through geometry, through squares and circles, triangles, stuff of interest to them inspired them to make the type of art that they make. And people are inspired by people, whether they're real people or fictional people. And yes, I do believe that we can be inspired by people that may or may not exist or have existed. And I don't think that really matters. What matters is what inspires you, what pulls at your emotions, your feels, and drives you to try and become a better person, to become the man, the woman that you were meant to be with your life, to do the things that you truly want to do. And we find inspiration from each other through historical people, like philosophers and poets and writers, not just artists, but many other groups, even important historical leaders, great thinkers of antiquity, the Renaissance age, even long before that. We are inspired by these people that lived long, long time ago, and in a way, they live on because of the fact that their writings, their teachings, their works of art, whether it is paintings or it's other things that they've made like statues, buildings, shit. Architecture, a lot of architects are inspired, by works of other architects that have come before them. Our ancient architecture like Greek and Roman, Egyptian. So we all have a driving force in us for which we get inspired, but the trick is to find that which inspires you, because what inspires me may not be the same thing that inspires you. So, since this is my vlog, what does inspire Go Burns to do what he does? Well, I guess I've always loved creating. I always loved making things. And unlike my mother, who was, from what I was told about her, she was an artist, she was a poet, she loved, painting, she loved writing poetry. I've never been very good at poetry, and I've never been very good at painting. I'm okay with doodling, I guess, but I'm not exactly, I would say, Vincent van Gogh or a Picasso. Long way from being anywhere up there. And, of course, we get interrupted. Every time. But, people that inspire me, real life people, I would go with my grandfather. He inspires me because of his upbringings. And I talked about it in the very first vlog on the channel nearly a year ago in the father's vlog. He inspired me because of his story. He was basically born an orphan. And it was during the time of the Depression. And the stories he told me about what he went through trying just to find another penny, because he had 3 pennies on him, but he would look everywhere trying to find a 4th penny just so he could buy a loaf of bread. And times when he had to dumpster dive for food, and it was hard. I mean, fortunately, I think he did eventually get adopted, but he went from that to serving his country in World War II, becoming a 2nd lieutenant in the Army Air Corps, flying P-51D Mustangs. And then eventually he went off to college. He became a geologist, and he started his own business. And, it is a, rags to riches story. So, he inspires me because he's always been a very humble man and someone who has always been wise, who has learned a lot along the way, who's paid a heavy price. I mean, he's lived a good life, but at the same time, he's also had some bad things befall upon him, just like with his early life. As I mentioned, he also lost his daughter when she was only 25, my mom, and that's one of the worst things in the world, is to lose a child. So it's a pain that is shared mutually. The pain I have of losing a mother I never got to know, but at the same time, the pain that my grandfather must have had losing his daughter. Because, just like in Lord of the Rings, one of the, Theoden, the thing he says is no parent should ever have to bury their own child. And that's something none of us want to do. But he inspires me because he shows me that if you are determined and if you are passionate about something, it doesn't matter where you are, where your upbringing is, you can eventually become more. I mean, maybe you can't become a millionaire or a billionaire, but you can improve your life you can find meaning, you can find purpose, even at the very bottom of the barrel, like my grandfather was, even during one of the worst times in, economically in U.S. history during the Great Depression. And it wasn't just, bad for the United States, it was bad all over the place. So he was able to rise up and eventually, through perseverance and determination, eventually, get through college and get a degree and get a job, and then eventually start a business that, was somewhat successful. And he hasn't even stopped. He's in his 90s, and he and his current wife have another business. They're in the farming business right now. They raise and sell livestock, and that's gone pretty well for him as well. So I'm inspired by that. I'm inspired to try and one day be, half as successful as he was. But the problem is we all have differences. I never aspired to go into geology or go into livestock or other things that other people have interest in. But I would say that, there's also, fictional characters that inspire me too. Like Batman, for example, because I've always been a huge Batman fan. I like the moral code that Batman stands by. The fact that, he wants to fight injustice. He wants to, stop crime and criminals and corruption. But he has a code. He knows that he cannot kill. That if he crosses that line, he's no better than the criminals he's trying to put away. And a lot of people, see Batman in a negative light sometimes because he's just dark, brooding guy. But he suffered through a traumatic loss. His parents were gunned down. They were murdered. Oh, shit. All these cars always get in my way. But yeah, like I said, I personally find inspiration through, like, real life people in my life or real life historical figures and even fictional people. And there's plenty of, like, religious characters throughout history that people are also inspired by, depending on what your belief happens to be. So yes, we can find inspiration through just about anything, through each other, through people that have existed at one time or another throughout history that we know about, through people that may or may not have existed, or comic book characters, or movie characters, or through simply going outside and looking at how beautiful this world is that we live in and be inspired by that, because life is very inspiring. And if some people can make something of themselves even when it seems like the whole world is against them and the odds are against them, but they still manage to somehow rise to the occasion and make something out of their life. And this story is told over and over again of countless people that have pulled themselves up, and found ways to inspire themselves to keep going, even if misfortune has fallen upon them, whether they lost a parent or parents, whether they lost a child, whether they dropped out from school for whatever rhyme or reason. Eventually, these people found ways to get themselves back up again, to dust themselves off and keep going. Because as long as you're alive, as long as you're breathing and still part of this world, you're still here, like it or not, on the good days and the bad days. And look, we all have bad days. I have plenty of bad days. Days whenever I feel like, I just don't know what to do. Like, I wake up some days, I'm like, well, what am I doing with my life? What am I supposed to be doing with my life? These are questions that I have yet to truly answer. Especially in, the relationship department, because, I'm not getting any younger, and, everyone always tells me, like, oh, you'll find the right person for you. But as you get older and older, as the days and weeks and months and even years start to go by, and each birthday comes along and you're still single, or you've been in this relationship, it didn't last, maybe a few weeks, maybe a few months, but you're back at square one again, it becomes very difficult to feel inspired to even bother anymore, even if you do have online dating sites, even if you do try to find somebody to go out with, somebody with common interests, compatibility, chemistry. The problem always comes down to it being mutual, because it doesn't mean that they are interested in you if you're interested in them, and the idea is eventually you find someone that is also into you just like you're into them. But I mean, I look back once again to my grandfather for inspiration regarding that. He was married nearly 50 years to my granny, and she passed away over a decade ago. But he remarried. He found someone else, also a widow. I mean, she was a few years younger than him. Not wasn't. I mean, she's a good woman, by the way, and she's been a great wife to my grandfather. And she found him, and he found her, and they found each other, and they both, through each other, found inspiration to keep going, even though they both, lost their previous spouses. So they inspire each other to keep going, and that's something that you always have to think about. Who inspires you in your life to get up in the morning? Is it your parents? Is it your siblings? Is it your best friends? Is it that significant other? Your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your partner, your companion, or perhaps even your pets inspire you because you look at them, you see how their life is and how they make your life better just by being in it. And you imagine your life without your cat or without your dog or without your fish or your ferret or whatever you happen to have as a pet. And you look at that animal, and that animal means a great deal to you. It may even mean more to you than a lot of people out there. But see, that animal, that pet that depends on you to take care of it, to feed it, to water it, to clean up after it, that animal inspires you because it has, I would say, unconditional love and affection, and I guess you could say loyalty to you. Ah, crap. I knew I was going to hit that damn pole. I knew it was going to happen. It was like a magnet. And yes, I realize the pole's made out of wood. Okay, I get it. So, yeah, I mean, we can find inspiration in a lot of things in this world. Whether it's, people or historical figures, real people, fictional people in comic books, graphic novels, books, movies, TV shows, through religion as well. You can find inspiration. And through nature itself and through the universe, through the fact that we do live on this beautiful world. And, even though we don't do the best job taking care of it, maybe one day we'll do a better job, hopefully before it's too late. But it's still a beautiful world, and a lot of people complain about it being a shitty world. It's not a shitty world. I mean, can people be shitty? Yeah. Can situations be bad? Yeah. Can things happen that make you depressed Debbie? All the time. But you can't blame our beautiful planet on that. I mean, yeah, there is natural disasters that happen. Earthquakes, volcanoes, tornadoes, flooding, drought. But that's part of the risk of living on this world. There are no guarantees. Except for in the end, we all die. But while we're still here, while you're still alive, if you want to have a happy life, whether you live for the next, few years or few decades until you're like an old man or old woman with gray hair and you got, a bunch of, grandchildren and great-grandchildren, you got to find things that inspire you to become the person you want to be. And maybe you don't even know what that person is. Maybe, the mystery is, just determining that with each passing day. And that's something I'm still working on, still unraveling that box, that enigma, that mystery. But, with each day I'm still here, with each day I wake up and I'm still breathing and I'm still, for the most part, functional, I can still go on. I can still live, I can still have my life, and I can still look for inspiration to keep going. And the truth is, I was looking for a vlog suggestion because I've done several vlogs over the past year now almost of doing vlogs on this channel. By the way, thank you to everybody that does take the time to listen to my vlogs and subscribe to the channel. And I don't know why you listen to it. Maybe it's because you like to be entertained, or maybe you like my stories, or maybe it is inspirational to you. But I will say this, Hydro Vibes. your suggestion inspired me. So you wanted to give me something. I gave you something. We gave each other something inspiring today with this vlog, hopefully. You wanted me to do a vlog about inspiration, and that inspired me to vlog. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Look for things that you like, that you are interested in, that you're passionate about, and make something out of it. Make a hobby out of it. I mean, there's so many hobbies out there that really drive people. You know, from like stamp collecting to painting to writing to poetry to, you know, swimming to fishing to archery to, you know, I mean, the list goes on and on of things that inspire people, you know, to end up doing something with their lives. And if there are things that you're interested in, then think about it. You know, think about, hey, you know, maybe I could make a hobby out of this, or perhaps even make a career out of it and learn more about it. And, you know, find out about people that are in a similar line of work, you know, that, you know, I guess important people that made this what it is, whatever it is that you happen to be interested in. And I always found, you know, a lot of historical figures to be very inspiring as well, because, you know, I really have a thing for history. So, in conclusion, you can find a great many things to be inspired about. And I know sometimes it's difficult because you don't feel like you have much energy. You don't feel like there's anything that's really pulling you to get out there and try and make something of yourself, because it does sometimes feel like the world is against you. It does feel like everything's going wrong. But we got to keep going for the good days as well as the bad days. It's a roller coaster, baby. And you know something? We're all on this ride together. And you can either try and make the most of it and find the inspiration to keep going and become a better person and to, you know, fulfill whatever purpose or reason is for you being here, and find that hobby that really can drive you, that can focus your efforts, your energy, your love, your desire, and perhaps, like I said, even make a job out of it, or something else entirely. Or you never know what this path may lead you down to, perhaps even a completely different path down the road. Everything we learn, everything we take knowledge-wise helps to make us better. We gain so much through our experiences, through our inspirations, through the knowledge that we possess, you know, today as opposed to yesterday. And, you know, I'm just hitting everybody today. I'm not very inspired at becoming a good driver here, am I? But through inspiration, you will seek more knowledge. You will seek more, you know, information. You will seek more about the subject or subjects or topics or hobbies or interests that drives you, that compels you to keep going. And you just got to take it one day at a time. That's what you have to do. One day at a time. One day at a time leads to a week. And then 1 week leads to 2 weeks. And then a month. And then months. And then years go by. And you will realize that in time you have changed as a person. Someone who had no inspiration, no hope, and was down about the world around you, to somebody who, despite the fact they've been, you know, hit several times in a video game while trying to drive around and vlog, is still continuing to try and inspire others to become better drivers and better people. So yes, you can find inspiration. It's all over the place, whether in those around you that you look up to, like your parents, your grandparents, your siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, real life people that you look up to and admire, you know, writers, scholars, athletes, poets, artists, musicians even, because music is very inspiring as well. I almost left out music, but yes, a lot of musicians are inspired by the works of other musicians, and a lot of people become musicians because of that inspiration, that drive and desire to play music, whether it's like Crone and his guitar. You know, he's one of my friends and subscribers over on the gaming channel. You know, he likes to play his guitar, and perhaps that inspiration could lead him somewhere down the road to become even better at playing the guitar, and maybe just even being part of a band. And you never know where that may lead Crone with his desire and passion and inspiration to play the guitar or to play the drums. or to pick up a paintbrush, or to start writing. Open up your laptop or your PC and pull up a Word document and start typing away. Type, type, type. Keep on typing. Keep on editing what you're typing and write something and just make something. Create. Or do what I do. Create your own YouTube channel and start putting content out there. Whatever inspires and drives you, go for it. Learn more about it, and don't be afraid to take the jump, the leap into that thing which is inspiring you to become somebody else entirely. Somebody that one day you can look back at years from now and say, you know what? I'm happy with the person I am today. The person that I was, years ago or a week ago or a month ago is not the person that I want to be. The person that I want to be is better, someone happier, someone more confident, someone, that truly is, actually doing something with their life. And if that is something that inspires you, it doesn't matter what kind of career it happens to be, because you know what? We all have to do something. And the world cannot exist without plumbers or electricians or carpenters or any other, profession out there. So find a career that, you enjoy doing, that's something you can pick up on easily, that you're like, you know what, I can get the hang of this. I'm pretty good at, carpentry. I'm pretty good at, this or that, or being a bus driver, for example, because you like driving. So find something that inspires you and, hold on to that. And if there are more than one things or more than one people that inspire you, then all the better. The more things that inspire you, the more inspired you will become. And hopefully, through inspiration, you will not only find a reason to live, but you will also find yourself in the process. And one more thing before I officially wrap up. I apologize, but it's one thing I thought about. What inspires me truly as a content creator? And the answer is you. You guys. I mean, I love creating things. I love making videos. I love playing video games. But it is all of my viewers, subscribers, and fans that inspire me to continue making content, whether over here on the vlogs channel or over on the other channel, my gaming channel. If it wasn't for you guys that have taken the time out of your lives to watch my videos, to like my videos, to leave comments on my videos, to share my videos with others, and get your friends, get other people to subscribe to the channel, and also enjoy my content as well, and bring more people to the channels as we continue to grow, both the gaming channel as well as the vlogs channel. Both part of the Go Burns Nation, just like each and every one of you are. I don't know if I would have continued doing this. You guys inspire me. So you don't have to look to historical figures. You don't have to look to fictional figures to find inspiration. You can look anywhere, even in your own subscribers. And you all most definitely inspire me to become a better content creator.